my new children of primary 1, I again welcome you to this lesson 12, and it is going to be our last lesson in this week. It is our lesson 12. We are looking at time. Remember, in our first lesson we looked at days of the week. Looked at days of the week, and we said that we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and others. And we said that our first day of the week was Sunday, and our last day of the week was Saturday. But now today we are going to look at what we call pre-activities for telling time. Pre-activities for telling time. Some of the activities. For example, at what time do you always take your breakfast? At what time? Such questions we are going to ask ourselves. Such things used to tell time. We do have very many things used to tell time. For example, a watch. I have a watch here. A phone. I have a phone here. Clock faces. You already see clock faces. The faces that are on clock, that are on walls, that are always put on walls, those are clock faces. The sun, you can also identify time using the sun. You can, it is always up. The sun, which shines. Watches, I have told you watches, and telephones. Identifying a minute, identifying a minute hand and a hour hand. We are going to identify a minute hand and a hour hand. My good children, a minute hand is long. There is a hand on our watch. There is a hand which is long, and there is a hand which is short. The long one is the so-called a minute hand. A long one. I can show you here. We are having, let us put our emphasis on these two hands, this one and this one. This long one is the so-called minute hand. Because it is long, it is the one which measures a letter which is used to tell minutes. And this short one is the one which is used to tell hours. So it means that the short one is the hour hand, and this long one is a minute hand. Thank you, good children. That has been our experiment. The longer one, a minute hand is long. A minute hand is long, and a hour hand is always short. Taking time for various activities done in a day. Waking up. At what time do you always wake up? At what time do you always wake up? I know many of you always wake up in the morning. At what time? You can say, I wake up at, this is how you can answer, I wake up at, for example, in the morning, very many of us wake up at 7. At 7 o'clock. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's how you can say, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Most of us, even I do wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock. How will you realize that, oh, it is 7 o'clock? When this short hand is facing in 7. Whenever the short hand is facing in 7, in this 7, whenever the short hand is facing in this 7 and the long hand is facing in 12, that's how you will realize that, oh, it is 7 o'clock. So very many of us do wake up at 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock. Starting classes at school. Starting classes at school. At what time do you already start classes at school? So here at Makindye Junior, you can say at Makindye Junior we start classes at 8. You can say, for example, at 8 o'clock. Because if you wake up at 7, you have to dress up. then you run and go to school. So you can say that starting classes, when I go to school, we always start classes at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock. In the morning, you should add the word in the morning, because that is still morning time. Having break. At what time do you always have enjoy breakfast? Good children. You can say always when I'm at school. We enjoy our breakfast at exactly. You can say at exactly 10 o'clock. You can say at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock. In the morning, because it is still morning. In the morning. Ending classes. When time is above 6, when you find that you are now, you say 8, you say 9, you say 10, you say 11. When you start 12, it means that you are now going to afternoon or evening times. Ending classes. You can say we always end classes at 4. At 4 in the evening. In the evening, when we've completed our classes. At 4, so you can say at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock in the evening. In classes, at what time do we always end our classes? We can say we end our classes at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the afternoon. Afternoon. That's how you can write the word afternoon. In the afternoon. That's how you can write the word afternoon. Having supper. At what time do you always get our supper? At what time? Some of you get supper at 8 in the evening, some of you at 9 in the evening, all and others. So we can say having supper. We can say having supper at 8. At 8 o'clock. In the evening or at night. You can say at 8 o'clock in the evening, or you can say at night. So we can say at 8 o'clock in the evening. Going to sleep. Going to sleep at times, you can say that I always go to sleep in at 10 o'clock at night. You can say I always go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night. At 10 o'clock at night. So this is how you can say it. Having supper at 8 o'clock in the evening, or you can say at night. Going to sleep at 10 o'clock at night. Having breakfast at 10 o'clock in the morning. Starting classes at 8 o'clock in the morning, and others. Please, my good children of primary 1, the activity has been sent, has been sent. Please attempt it properly. The activity is all about asking you the pre-activities which you do when you are at home. At what time do you always do those activities? For example, if you wash utensils at home, at what time do you always wash your utensils at home? Those are one of the activities that you are going to find in your transcripts, please. Thank you very much. We meet the next time.